Casey, thank you. Breaking right now, a crowd gathering this morning in downtown LA. You're taking a live look at a protest over the recent surge in ICE raids and deportations. Last Monday, President Donald Trump signing executive orders giving ICE agents greater ability to conduct enforcement actions in sensitive areas like schools, churches, and hospitals. Under the Trump administration, ICE agents are arresting nearly 800 people every day. Several local schools have begun handing out Know Your Rights cards, providing guidance on how to respond to immigration officers.
Aren't these some interesting images that are coming across our screen from all different various parts of this country? We have Dallas, Texas. We have downtown Los Angeles. I heard about these protests also breaking out in Georgia as well as in San Diego. And every single one of these images shows us the same exact thing. You have people waving the flags of foreign countries in Latin America or in Central America. And in many of these protests, they're also burning the American flag, cursing the nation of the United States, while simultaneously complaining that they would be sent back to the countries that they're holding the flags of, and of course they would be sent back from the United States of America. So they hate America, they want to burn our flag, they want to tarnish our image, they want to fly their foreign flags, but at the same time they're begging for the right to stay here. Oh wait, they're not begging, because begging is a form of asking. They're demanding the right to stay here. It is absolutely ridiculous, a full display of entitlement, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I want to remind you that my friend Devin Tracy, his parents lost their home in the California wildfires. He has currently started a GoFundMe in order to raise money for them. The link to that is in the top of the description of this video. If you can donate, please do. If you don't want to or unable to, it's perfectly fine. I'm just trying to help a friend.
Chaos and outrage today in downtown LA with thousands of people protesting President Trump's threat of mass deportation. The crowds blocked the freeways, the city streets. They caused huge traffic delays, and they prompted the LAPD to issue a citywide tactical alert.
Officers in riot gear surrounded the 101 freeway through downtown LA Sunday evening as the LAPD issued a citywide tactical alert. Small scuffles broke out between protesters and police as tensions escalated. Police issued dispersal orders as demonstrators marched onto the freeway, forcing several closures throughout the day.
Now I want to make something 100% clear for everybody out there in the audience. I got no issue with Mexican Americans. I have no issue with Latino people in the United States of America. My family, at least half of them, are Latino. They happen to be Puerto Ricans, so natural-born American citizens. And obviously, I do have a love for Latino people and Latino culture. And almost every time I meet one of my fans, they happen to be Latino. So nothing against you guys all understand that, but what we're actually talking about here is these people who are claiming to be illegal migrants, which by the way, ICE should go and deport them immediately, flying the flags of nations like Mexico, of nations like Honduras, while simultaneously burning the American flag and shutting down the highways just to show us how much we definitely want these people here.
CHP officers doing everything they could to clear the lanes and keep everyone safe and off the freeway.
Now make no mistake about it, while I'm showing you some of the footage from KTLA, which obviously is the local news outlet for Los Angeles, the fact of the matter is these protests are not just limited to sanctuary cities in blue states, although I do find it funny that all these different left-wing people who have voted for all this shielding of these illegal migrants are now suffering the consequences of massive traffic pileups and, of course, random people being harassed on the streets. But again, this is even happening in the state of Texas, in the city of Dallas in particular.
to the protest marches on DFW streets today. All have cleared out for late this evening. However, not before that big show of solidarity among immigrants and advocates who are opposing the President Trump's mass deportations.
Although there are isolated pockets of these type of protests that are all around Texas. And all I have to say is, you know what? If you're arrested for this, you should be turned over to ICE immediately. You have no right to block the streets of the United States of America, especially flying foreign flags, talking about how you're entitled to stay here when you came here illegally, breaking additional laws after the fact because you don't like the fact that the Trump administration ran on a tough on immigration, tough on illegal immigration platform. And especially considering that the people who are currently being arrested are those with deportation orders. We have well over 1 million people that are not supposed to be in the country that are targeted for deportation. Some of them are serious violent criminals, as we've seen in many of the arrest videos that have been put forward by all these different various news agencies. And already these people are saying, no, our criminals have a divine right to come here to rob you, to attack you, because we're entitled to be here because no person is illegal in the United States of America, and immigrants built this country, so therefore, these illegal immigrants are entitled to break whatever law they damn well please. Well, absolutely not. That time is over. Biden is out of office, so you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of that. And again, all of these people, there's HD footage of them, deport them. If they're here illegally, send them out of here. You block traffic, you do this nonsense, you start harassing regular people in their vehicles, like we've seen in video after video, you're gone. Or you should be gone. That should be the rule. But again, the Trump administration is just focusing on the criminals and just focusing on people who already have deportation orders against them.
CHP officers doing everything they could to clear the lanes and keep everyone safe and off the freeway. Earlier, thousands of protesters rallied against President Donald Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration and mass deportations.
So KTLA is attempting to soft pedal how bad these protests were, but as they even admitted a little bit, there is footage of them attacking police officers, and while they're showing you a little bit of American flags here or there, you can actually see for yourself that the majority of the flags that are being displayed happen to be flags of foreign countries, and even this American flag is half of an American flag and half of another nation. And again, if you love that nation so much, then instead of coming here, burning our flag at the prospect, at the hint that some of your criminals will be sent back to your home country, then maybe you should just go there voluntarily. Maybe you should head back there, go build that economy over there, because apparently you built the United States of America, so you should be able to turn those nations into the United States of America or better countries than the United States, because again, you are the backbone of our society. You are the people who make this country function. It's actually kind of cruel of you to abandon your home country and not make them function. But in reality, obviously they want to be here because there's more opportunity here. They view the United States of America as an economic zone where they can infiltrate and work whenever they want, however they want. And it has been rather hilarious to see all these different meme posts from the left wing about how, oh, conservatives, if you want your jobs, come work and pick tomatoes for $5 an hour, because that's what these people were doing. And what I find absolutely hilarious about this is that these are the same people who demand a $15 minimum wage or a $20 minimum wage, while simultaneously showing us that these illegal migrants are undercutting those minimum wages in order to work for $5 an hour. Apparently, we need to have the permanent underclass in order to counteract the negative externalities of the left-wingers' economic policies, and I find that to be a ridiculous proposition. Now look, I try to avoid attacking people for their appearances, so don't take this the wrong way, but people have pointed out in many of these videos that the people that are in these protests are rather large individuals, but the fact of the matter is that is not necessarily attributed to them being from Latin America, because the United States of America has a very obese population. However, it is rather interesting to see people who look like they've never worked in a field in their lives talk about the grueling labor-intensive jobs that that other migrants are presumably doing, but these people are definitely not, because they came here to become part of the woke activist class. And again, we do not need people to come to the United States of America to attack the nation of America, to burn our flag, to curse the name of the citizens who actually live here while undercutting our wages and pushing leftism or some kind of communist revolt as they duplicate the Antifa-like tactics where they're blocking traffic, fighting cops, and all this other crazy stuff. What we need to do is see these people on video, check their immigration status, and send them out of the country. You want to be a leftist agitator, protester? Go try doing that in Mexico. Go try doing that in Honduras. Go try doing that in your home country. Also, I will want to point out that although Hispanics make up a huge majority of the illegal migrant population, or maybe they just make up a plurality, the second highest on the list is Asians. And it's not just East Asians, it's also South Asians. And one of the things that you almost never see is any Asian people who are illegal migrants blocking traffic or doing anything like this. There's this weird attachment of the illegal immigration problem to Hispanics and Hispanics alone. And for some reason, there's also an activist component of it. And I think that's what we're seeing on display right here. And I'll add in addition to that, that it honestly is a bit heartbreaking to see all these different various anti-American Latinos, because half of my family comes from Puerto Rico, so they're natural-born American citizens. My family obviously appreciates being in the United States of America, and to see a bunch of different Latinos just hate on the country, burn the American flag, it's not a good look. Now, obviously, I don't do the group association thing. I understand that many Latinos moved in the direction of the evil orange man because they didn't want these people undercutting them at their jobs and their American citizens. But the fact of the matter is, it's just a bad look overall for you to be burning the American flag, holding up a foreign flag while saying that the last thing you want is to be sent back to the nation that bears that flag. And again, notice how KTLA is trying to obfuscate what was really going on in these protests by showing this sign right here that says pro-America and anti-Trump to make you think that most of these people are pro-America. But even in this image right here, you could see the overwhelming majority of flags in the background are the flags of Mexico. And again, if you love Mexico so much, if Mexico is so great and so wonderful, if you want to burn the American flag, attack Americans, harass Americans in their vehicles, then please go back to Mexico. Just go back. If that flag is so amazing and it represents you so much better than the United States of America, there's a country that actually has that flag and you can fly it all you want. It's called Mexico.
We've seen it already a bunch of times all over, so he doesn't care.
So again, you have a woman right here. She has the Mexican flag. They don't show you the full flag, but you could tell by the colors. And she's like, oh, he doesn't care. He doesn't care what we think. And it's, yeah, he shouldn't care what you think, because if you're an illegal migrant, guess what? You're not allowed to vote. You shouldn't be represented. The president and all elected officials should represent the interests of the citizenry. And I find it kind of amazing that the state of California called an emergency session to appropriate money in order to fight back against Trump. And one of the things that they wanted to fight back on is sending the people that are currently blocking their highways, shutting down their cities, attacking their representatives from being deported by the evil orange man. And again, this is not just something that is going down in the state of California. It's not something that is going down just in Los Angeles. Dallas, Texas also has these similar issues. And we're starting to see conflict from people who are just driving by, having their American flags, being stopped by the mob of people repping a foreign flag, saying that you shouldn't be allowed to fly the American flag in the United States of America.
We need to be treated like humans. And, you know, we're being treated inhumanely.
So first of all, take note of the fact that this woman has a face tattoo. She has a tattoo above her eyebrow. Now, I don't have any additional commentary beyond that, but that's just something I wanted to highlight for everybody out there in the audience. Secondly, she's saying we need to be treated like humans, like human beings. Apparently being sent to the country that you're holding the flag of right now as you're attacking the United States of America after you just burned the American flag is somehow dehumanizing. So if you're in your home country, you're not even a person, so that brings the question, or should beg the question, why are you flying that flag if they're not even treated like people in that home country? Doesn't make any sense at all. It's ridiculous. And again, if you are here illegally, and in addition to that, you're fighting police officers and shutting down traffic and flying the foreign flag and burning the American flag, go home. Just get out of here. You're not welcome here. Goodbye.
Since his first day back in office, Trump has signed a flurry of executive orders authorizing greater military force at the U.S.-Mexico border. The administration says it's going after violent criminal immigrants who are in the country illegally. But with nearly 1,000 deportations daily, many fear no one is safe.
Again, they say with nearly 1,000 deportations daily, a lot of these people don't feel safe, probably because they're criminals or have deportation orders against them, because again, out of the 11 to 20 million illegal migrants in the United States of America, 1.4 to 1.6 million of them have those deportation orders. That's who the Trump administration is trying to go after first. And again, 1,000 a day doesn't even bring you to that amount in the first year, and it barely brings you to that amount in the first 4 years. In fact, it still undercuts just the people with current deportation orders. It's not nearly high enough, and yet these people are saying, oh my God, they're going to destroy our communities, because probably many people in their communities are criminals or people with deportation orders, which means they shouldn't be in the country.
There's so many people out there that may have came here illegally, but it's home. We're the ones that, our parents are the ones that sacrificed everything for us to come here, and we're more than grateful for them.
I think it's very important for you to notice that they're also exclusively interviewing women throughout the course of this KTLA segment. This is because women are seen as more sympathetic, and this woman says, look, our parents sacrificed everything for us to be here, wrapped in the Mexican flag, take note of that, and even if they came here illegally, so what? We're grateful to our parents. Again, that doesn't matter. I don't give a damn how you feel about your parents. I'm glad that you love them, actually. You know what? I do care. I care a little bit about that. I actually glad that you appreciate that, but the fact of the matter is, just because your parents broke the law and you think it's for you, doesn't mean we have to abide by that. It's not the parents' code that we need to operate on behalf of, especially if, again, while here, they committed additional crimes or had deportation orders issued against them that were never picked up due to the fact that you have the sanctuary city laws or sanctuary state laws that are protecting them.
I'm mad, I'm like sad, I'm like all mixed emotions because they're doing all this to people who don't deserve it.
Again, this woman's like, I'm so sad, I'm wrapped in the Mexican flag, and it's just sad because they're doing all this to people who don't deserve it. I mean, again, imagine being forced into the country of Mexico, that horrible, terrible place that I'm repping the flag of right now. Nobody wants to go there. Obviously, we have a divine right to be in the United States of America. Now, by the way, one of the funniest videos I've seen so far related to immigration that doesn't have to do with these protests or anything of the sort actually came from what I believe was an Al Jazeera affiliate, where they were talking about how Mexico can't deal with all these people coming into the nation because, oh my God, who can deal with their borders being violated by a surge of people?
Mexico cannot cope. I'm not sure any country can, but Mexico can't cope with like a sudden influx of millions of people. I mean, as much as she wants to embrace them, to use her word, when they come back and make them feel welcome, it all sounds very nice when you're listening to it, but the reality of that is just completely unsustainable. A lot of these people have lived in the U.S. for decades. They have lives there. They have families. They're good standing citizens. So they're not in a position to just be deported and say like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to come back here and take a job making a fraction of what I used to make and go to my town where I don't have anything left, which is maybe it's been overrun by violence. I mean, it's unrealistic to think that that wouldn't lead to a crisis.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Isn't that that stressful? Isn't that unusual that the nation of Mexico has to deal with all these people coming across their border, coming into their country, and they don't have the resources in order to take care of them? And when they surge to their border like that, it creates so many different problems for all the different municipalities in the nation of Mexico. If only there was a country, if only there was a nation on earth that could relate to a similar situation. If only there was a people, a citizenry that had been complaining about the same thing, except the difference between them complaining in Mexico is that they're complaining about the surge of their own citizens returning to their own country, while we've had to deal with people that they've been letting flood our border. And make no mistake about it, Mexico has pretty strict immigration laws, but they're allowing people from Central America to be funneled to our border, or at least they did prior to Trump taking office. And now all of a sudden that some of those people are going back the other direction, they're overwhelmed. They can't deal with it. They can't take it. Oh my God, could you imagine if you had a country that basically had no border and all these different people were pouring over it? Yes, I can imagine it. We've lived with it for a very long time. These are your citizens. Take your people back and shut your mouth. And don't you dare do segments on the news talking about how stressful it is for you to have all these people that are a drain on your resource, when that's something the American people have been dealing with for a very long time.
Mexico cannot cope. Not sure any country can. Not sure any country can, but Mexico can't cope with like a sudden influx of millions of people.
Now look, I've made it clear on this channel that I'm not some crazy immigration hardliner or anything of the sort. I just have the fundamental belief that the people of the United States of America should be able to determine who becomes a citizen of the United States of America. That is one of your rights as a citizen, and an immigration policy should benefit the American people first and foremost. But I'm also of the belief that we have to get rid of these asylum fraudsters, and by the way, we need to start rejecting them way faster, because we have to disincentivize people fraudulently claiming asylum in the United States of America. And a bunch of the new arrivals under Biden, sorry, pack your bags, you need to get gone really quickly. But in addition to that, when we start looking back at the people who have been here more long term, we should select individually of those people, those who contribute to the United States of America, and provide them some kind of a way that they can at least become a resident of the United States of America. Because we have all these people here, we might as well cherry pick from among them. I'm not in favor of any kind of blanket amnesty where as a class of people we let them all in, but on an individual basis we would be crazy not to. But the problem is we can't get to that point. We can't get to that portion of the policy discussion until we disincentivize illegal immigration to such a great extent that then we can do that kind of policy without it becoming a magnet for other people. This is the big problem with Reagan's amnesty, is that you had a bunch of people flood to the United States under the premise that they would do a second amnesty. But these people burning our flags in the streets, flying foreign flags, they're gone. And you know what? If they happen to be people who are born to citizenship in the United States of America, then the person who's illegal in their family, they can get gone on their behalf. Because no, you don't come to our country, trash our values, trash our flag, get all the benefits that illegals get, especially in a place like California where they have all these different various benefits, and then turn around and burn our flag, spit in our face, block our freeways, and act like it's going to be okay. It's definitely not okay, and this is one of the reasons why the orange man was elected. But you know what? Those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like the video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social medias, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about the craziness that is going on in our streets. Till next time.